It's bread day, and today I'm going to be making a bread that uses something which you probably have. Today we're making sweet potato bread, and for some traditionalists they're probably going to have a heart attack with what I'm about to do. But me being the person that I am, I need to do things that I can do quickly, and one of the things which I do use is a bread machine. Some people are probably saying, well, you make all this stuff and yet you still use a bread machine. Now, I only do the dough part in the bread maker. I do not actually cook in the bread pan itself. But let's get started. So, I have half a cup of warm milk. That's warm milk. A quarter of a cup of warm water. Now, what you need to do is you need to follow your manufacturer's recommendations. Don't worry about how I necessarily do it, but you can use my ingredients. To that, I have, I'll change this. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of raw sugar and 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt, 3/4 of a cup of cooked, mashed sweet potatoes. To that, I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of butter. I've got half a cup of cornmeal and 2½ cups of flour. With all that in there, now I have 1 tablespoon of dry active yeast. I'll put that on the top, close the lid, and then I am already set for the dough setting. I'll press start. You'll make a lot of noise and shake the table. And then when we come back, the dough will be all ready. Once your bread machine is finished, I'm going to just lightly cover my board with some flour, take my dough out, and since I've experienced this enough, I'm also going to lightly cover my hands. Then we'll just put the dough down on the board, punch it down, and divide the dough in half. Once your dough is divided in half, I'm going to run it into a tube, put it into a tube, and put each tube into a pre-greased, and you notice that there is cornmeal in the bottom of the pan. So it's pre-greased and it has cornmeal in it. Place my dough there. I'm going to cover these with a moist cloth and let them rise again for another hour. So I'll see you again in an hour. After 1 hour, my bread is ready. So I take it out, uncover it, and then I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it for 40 minutes at 400 degrees. Now I'm going to give you a quick tip right here. While you're letting this raise, if at 15 minutes till, so let's say after 45 minutes of letting it raise covered, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, then you'll be ready. Now I'm going to put it in for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, your loaves should be done. Mine took less time because I made mine thinner, but you can make yours whatever thickness that you want. Just keep an eye on them. If you rap on them, it should sound hollow. If you enjoyed this recipe, click like. You can subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscription button. Every week I'll bring you 2 recipes, and starting soon we'll have weekly tips on around the house and also in the kitchen. Also in the description below is a link to my blog which will have this recipe and others like it. I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and I'll see you next week. Make yourself at home.